All right. Hello. Welcome everyone back. Hey there, Big K and Randy Hilarski down there to another happy hour show. What's going on, everybody?
Glad to be here, enjoying a beautiful day. Hope y'all are too.
I am not. It's quite cloudy out here.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's rainy. It was quite beautiful yesterday, but it is quite supposed to be like hurricane. Well, not hurricane, but like 50-mile-an-hour winds tomorrow and whatnot. So, yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah, pass. But unfortunately, that's what I have to deal with. How is the weather down yonder there, Randy?
Well, we're going back into rainy season, and it came early this year, so it's been day after day of like flooding rain. It's been pretty bad. I didn't go out anywhere today. I'll probably go out for some beers after this, but that's about it. Walk downstairs, go down to one of the pubs.
Well, I mean, it is happy hour, right? So
Yeah.
Indeed. So
what is going on, fam? Just checking the chat real quick. What's up, Salmon 20? T-Turn, what's up, man? Let's see. No, I am not doing my hair. Maybe that's Motley, in reference to Motley. He is building his studio from scratch pretty much, so we hope to have him here at some point. Yeah, Bobby Hexelrod, Boardwalk Empire. So that's the theme, because out here is Atlantic City. That's where I'm at.
Really? I don't even want to say shithole anymore.
Oh, it has such a bad rap, but if you know where to go, it is such a fun time.
The last time I went to the Trump, and it was terrible. I was
No,
is this place?
Well, I mean, they've all been either rebuilt or torn down, so it depends upon which Trump. The Trump Plaza, I think, was demoed. The Trump Marina was bought by Golden Nugget. They completely rid of that, which is awesome. And then the Taj Mahal, Hard Rock bought it, and that's now way nicer. So.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, there's been some decent money that has come in here over the years. What's up, Elliot? Pay me Hex. Yes, Randy is in the house. He just had a great stream with the Liquid Loans guys. We want to get into some of their topics as well, just because it's probably fresh for whoever was watching it. Yeah, 3 streams for Randy. Yeah, he's everywhere. You can't get rid of him. He's like a cockroach. Do they have? Are there Panamanian cockroaches, Randy?
Oh fuck yeah! but they don't fly like the ones in Florida do. The palmetto bugs, they're not as bad, you know. But yeah, they don't have
they don't get a cute name like palmetto bug. Like, oh, that's nice.
Oh, palmetto bug. And speaking of our cute little bug, look at this little.
There
bug.
he is.
He's got the wife beater on.
Fresh out of rage from setting up the studio. How was it, man?
It's not set up. This is my laptop and everything just thrown together real quick. But it's been a nightmare. Our elevator broke. So for the past
Big K was just telling me.
Bro, we're in this nice community, and like it's super nice here, and out of everywhere our elevator broke. And it's of course it literally happened the day we got here. And so today and yesterday we've been lugging all our shit up 5 flights of stairs. I'm dying.
Welcome to Latin America.
Yep. There are drawbacks, people. There are drawbacks.
I mean, you get a good workout, you're doing the challenge,
My legs are toasty.
There you go.
My legs are toasty for sure.
Yeah. Just saying hi to a few new names in the chat as well. So what's up, everybody? And yeah, I mean, there's like how's the fitness challenge? I guess I'll start with that with Crypto Gym Rat. Motley, are you the guy in this panel that is participating?
I am participating. I've been slacking lately because of just the traveling. Like I've been driving for 12 hours and flying for 8 and then trying to get set up for the past 2 days. But I think we finally bought everything we need. It's all cluttered around the place, but I can get back to it. Yesterday, I got a good workout in, steam shower. It's been good.
Nice. And
I'm one of the sponsors, so I can't win, but I'm going to beat Jim Rat and Sam. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's the official bet with Sam? Can you clarify that for those who may not know?
No, I won't. I'm not getting him free publicity.
Well, all right, we'll just call him SS, but what is the bet?
There's this SS guy that if he gets more Twitter followers than me, he can get 50K hex. But I'd rather him buy hex on the open market and pump our bags. I mean, come on, guys. You gotta earn your ride here. You gotta earn your keep. But yeah, he's been pretty obsessed about that as of late.
Is there is there a deadline on that, or what's the
by the end of the fitness challenge? He's like, do I get a copy too? I was like, if you can get it done before pre-fork, which hopefully we're on track for this month, and that ain't happening. So we'll see.
I was gonna say that's good. That better be a quick fitness challenge, because I think we're looking at sometime right around the corner here. You know,
it does look that way.
All right, so in the green room, I guess we'll just bounce around from topic to topic because I have no set list this week. I'm on the road, and there's plenty to talk about in the community. Obviously, PulseChain, but in the green room, it was mentioned some videos within the community, and I see people referencing some things in chats, calling people out. Can we just maybe perhaps touch on that and tell this one right away?
Sure. You want to unleash me?
Any thoughts there, Big K or Randy?
You want to unleash me?
Unleash.
Hilarski.
All right. So Silver, the thin-skinned Silver, the antidote, decided to spend a couple hours making a video tearing down Hex token, which is one of the pillars of our content creation in the PulseChain community. Here is a guy who has been nothing but friendly to everybody in Hex and PulseChain for the last year and a half. Yes, he was an Axion. Motherfuckers, I'm an Axion. I own like a $250 million Axion. It might be not worth anything, but I have a shit ton. This guy has done nothing but amazing to our community. This dude Silver, who makes you pay to get information from him, makes this 6 or 7 minute video, and it was a lot of editing, so it took a lot of time to make, to tear down somebody who has been nothing but friendly to everybody. I thought that was absolute bullshit, and I made sure I tweeted out in support of Hex token. I'm like, man, dude, I'm sorry. There's some people that are real dicks in the community, and you didn't deserve this.
Yeah,
that was just my opinion.
Being in another token doesn't make you evil person, right? Like
Exactly.
I have one of my good friends now. He fell into the trap of Wise. Like there's nothing wrong with it. If anything, it fucking sucks for them, right? Because they lost money because of it. But it doesn't make him any less of a person or a hexagon. It's okay. Like he'll be all right. But yeah, it's this. I don't know. It just seems to be the same. Like people just like fucking engagement, and I don't even want to say the word, but yeah, it's just a waste of time and effort.
It's all clout chasing bullshit,
Yep.
Like it's just stupid. And like, if you don't like what somebody has to say, don't give them, don't give them air. That's all. You just don't bring it up. Don't support their stuff. It's fine. You don't have to go on tirades, claiming you're going to call out people and you're going to set, it's us versus them kind of bullshit. Like that sucks. It just sucks.
Yeah. Taking a poll beforehand on whether or not you should. I was like, bro, come on. Like that shit's such a break. What are you, 5 years old on the playground? Like, let me tell you what Susie told me about Jimmy. Like, fuck off. You got too much time on your hands if you're doing that shit.
Contriving that kind of stuff too, because like we're all trying to accomplish similar goals. So causing unnecessary drama and contriving up problems when there doesn't need to be some is not helpful for anybody.
Yep.
Yeah. Feel free to go back to my 2016, 2017 and pull up my old shilling videos or stuff that I made back then where I was talking about projects that I thought were going to do really good. Some didn't. Some like Lend, when it exploded, right? Others didn't do anything. So, you could come and talk bad about me too if you want. Go ahead. Come on, Silver.
Yeah, I mean, no one's right all the time about everything. It's just not reality.
Yeah, I thought we were kind of like over this with the dip, but we're almost kind of coming out of it, and it's like, man, can we like stop like the either the infighting, the calling out, or like trying to, I don't know, setting guidelines for people or telling other people what to do. Like
Some people just thrive on that shit.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
this is the community that has been built, and it's on the way back with, whether people, it's imperfect and it's beautiful in my opinion. And
the only person I can expect it from is Joker, because he is the Joker. He is the villain. It's his job to be the asshole, and he plays it to the T. Everyone else, I mean, really, come on, can we just get along? Seriously.
Yeah. I'm not. I mean, exactly. I don't think it's helpful. That's all. I mean, like, there's plenty of people that say and do things that I'm not like, oh man, that's my favorite thing in the world. You just don't hear me speak their name out of my mouth. That's all.
Well, just make sure your image is nice and pure there, Big K.
I don't know. I'll do my best. No guarantees here.
The only people I call out is Crypto Vigilante over and over and over again. It's because they will not rescind their calling of Hex a scam.
Let's touch on that real quick, because we're going to touch on as many things as we can here. We've got like an hour or so, but I saw that tweet this afternoon, and again, like I was a sub of the Dollar Vigilante, Crypto Vigilante, just for the first year kind of trial kind of thing, because I wanted to see what everybody was saying. That's how you kind of gauge markets, is to read opinions of multiple sources, not just of who you want to believe, but take the other side of the trade and read what it's about. And they dismissed Hex and Mr. ABC XYZ Raphael wannabe influencer guy Monero, just stop. And anyway, so just dismissed it and continued to dismiss it, don't even talk about it, and still call it a scam. And even in their newsletter, and replied back to me when I initially asked them about it. And they're shilling, I would say, kind of the way they're acting is pump and dumps. I mean, there's some, if you got out near the top, you did pretty good, but not a lot of people did that. So.
Pirate Chain's down 92% as of today.
Arr.
Arr. Real quick, I wasn't flipping you guys off. Wendy's put the stream on in the living room TV, so I was waiting to see how long it took him to see seeing what the delay was.
God.
And it was communicated in chat, so thank you.
Yeah, not for you guys.
Yeah, and the thing is that they were kicking people out of their Telegram groups just for mentioning Hex. That's how bad it got. It's just Hex, you're out.
Yeah, I mean,
bye.
I just don't see how that's helpful for their brand overall either. It seems silly, but especially when here we are 2.5 years later, not a scam, still operating fantastically, better than both. You think at some point in time you're like, all right, well maybe we should drop that. But
another one is, remember Give Me Liberty? I haven't seen him in Give Me Liberty or Give Me Hex. I haven't seen him around in a long time.
Still playing golf.
Yeah, he's playing golf and in Telegram chats. Yeah.
So he was big in the TDV groups, and he ended up leaving as well.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Monica,
well,
you are not
like
new.
people...
I've seen you for months now, and we all know who Wendy's is. Come on now, he can pop his face in. Come on, Wendy's.
They're cooking.
Okay.
Right now.
What are they cooking?
Let
Big K cooking or cooking food?
No, Lauren's making some sort of Asian chicken salad, and I think John's just eating it. He's tasting it. He's taste testing.
Yes, any of you guys planning a tree tomorrow for Hex Arbor Day? I know Big K wants to play one.
Yeah, we were talking about starting an herb garden right in the kitchen, actually.
Yeah,
nice.
I planted this beautiful plastic tree that came with the apartment. So there you go.
Incredible. It's perfect decor.
Yeah. Puts out a lot of oxygen.
Man. Yeah, exactly. Hex Huddle. What can we not talk about today? I mean, there's so much. I mean, the easy thing is perhaps, and more imminent than was last week or the past 4 weeks, PulseChain launch. There's a cool little tweet by Richard last night. I hate reading too much into these things, but
do it.
Yeah.
It was kind of. Did it sound like a last call?
It
Yeah.
sounded pretty close to it. It was
Okay.
basically, I mean, it felt like it was like, where is it at? Pull it up, read it. Let's give us the feel.
Let's see. He said SAC balances and AMM bot needed to be done, and both of those things are essentially done. It looks like so. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
basically, if you haven't checked your SAC balances, if someone out there watching, for the love of everything, go
Do
and
it.
check your wallets. Check it like
or
today.
or forever hold your peace. Don't fucking.
And
bitch when you
also
get the
be
tokens.
very, very cautious as to where you are going. I already have heard about people that have used a fake SAC balance checker and lost all their money. So
Whoa.
be careful where you're attaching your coins to.
Yeah, I
your
did see
wallet
that
too.
actually.
Mm-hmm. I don't know
Yeah.
if it's. I mean, I didn't like dig and be like, give me the website, because like I don't want the website.
Let me plug this in.
yeah. But but I have heard that, so make sure I wouldn't doubt it. I would be careful out there, y'all.
But
And the-
what about that? What about the incentive token? We still don't have a name. We don't have any pumpamentals. Is he just not going to give them to us? Or are we just going to have to like figure it out later? Like, come on.
I kind of like that. Honestly, I kind of like that even better, because like how cool
depends
is it
what
that,
the
like,
incentive token
for-
does or what the
that's
pumpamentals
who
are.
knows?
Maybe
just
maybe
like
it's nothing. Then I'll be like, fuck, that's not cool.
the Enigma box that like you just can't, you don't even know what's in there. It's like getting basketball cards or something like that. Like we really have no idea. And if you want to waste your time mining it because you think it's going to be amazing, or I mean liquidity mining, whatever, then why not go ahead? I kind of like it.
I like it being called the Enigma token.
Yeah.
Just a shout out to the old shout out to
diamond.
the diamond before it became the hex.com diamond. I like that. It's a good name.
And the fact that he hasn't told us anything about the token makes it
Serious.
an enigma.
Exactly.
I love it. It's okay. I mean, so that is super interesting and does make things, it leaves a lot up to your mind to go wild with. I mean, how much better can the fundamentals get than PulseX already?
Got a big bag of that for sure.
Yeah. What other? Before we, go ahead, BK.
I just think it's cool in general. Like I've been looking through all these, tokens that people are launching and seeing, not everyone's going to be right but like to see everyone find new ways to, come up with tokenomics and supply sinks to make their project is, be a usable, potentially profitable item is pretty cool to see. There's definitely a lot of, interesting ideas, being pushed into and see, and we're gonna find out what works and what doesn't.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Hey, I want to bring up something that Jesse mentioned on the liquid loans one earlier. He was talking about on day one PulseChain launch, and something we really need to be careful with, and that is slippage. What I recommend is everyone just sit on the sideline, don't participate. But he made a great point. So if a lot of people are going from PulseX into Pulse, and say you've got a couple hundred people per minute trying to do it, you're piling on the slippage. You're slipping on top of slipping on top of slipping on top of slipping on top of slipping. You can get really wrecked. So the best thing you can do.
Talk about was PulseX, right? Because that's like the quote known strategy, or it's so out there that you can get really wrecked if that goes badly.
The good thing is on the other side, be ready to scoop up that PulseX.
Pays to be a contrarian, boys.
All the old school guys are always like, no, I'm looking the other way.
Well, I mean, I don't want to alpha out here, but like, I mean, over the long term, I mean, there could be a severe dump because of that early on, and you could see a lot of mad gains in the like. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see which wins, but I really love the economics of PulseX.
I would be stunned if PulseX doesn't dip over PulseChain. I would be stunned.
Oh no, I think that it'll severe dip early on, but but over the first couple of years, it's going to be interesting to see. Yeah,
for sure. For sure.
I mean, I can't remember who put out that video about the burn mechanics that they went over it like pretty in detail about how, like, I mean, it'd be very difficult for less than half the supply to be like it will be gone within the first 2 years. It'll be like basically half supply within 2 years.
Is that the K4K crypto or K4 crypto?
Might have been K4K. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's some awesome information there, and it's just, I mean, that's. And it's fun to be here for a long time to see it all play out over the next 2, 3, 4, 5
Dude,
years.
Burn, baby,
this is like the
burn.
third time I've gotten goosebumps talking about this shit today. Man, I'm so excited. I can't wait for this thing to go.
Like finally, right? Like it actually.
We're probably jinxing the shit out of this right now.
No.
It's not coming. Damn it. 2023, here we come.
We get the evangelical in me. Speak to it and it'll happen. Come on, let's make it happen.
Speak it into existence.
Hey, Motley Investor, your plastic tree only counts if you're a Barbie girl living in a plastic world. Come plant a living tree with us. We are all going to do a 5-5-5-5 stick tomorrow.
I'll see what I can do. Puerto Rico's got a lot of trees already. It's pretty good.
I was gonna say you're pretty good down there, right? But,
yeah, they got rainforest down here, so I'm good.
Yeah. Another point Lights Out brings up is really good too, and you guys touched on it last stream, Randy, with Jesse Rags and Miyamoto Matt.
Matt.
Dealing with liquidity. I'm not going to provide liquidity until things settle down after launch, and permanent loss could be staggering. And I think it will for a lot of people who just go in kind of cavalier and have no idea what they're doing. Big K, go ahead.
Yeah, there's a couple things that like somebody brought up recently. The I think Freddie had made a comment about the fact that like there's a good if you're a liquidity provider for Hex and you're paying attention to what's going on in this ecosystem, then you might be inclined to pull a lot of your liquidity before the actual mainnet goes live. Because of the unless you really want a lot more pulse, and want to have no control over how that's done, then there's going to be an automated bot that comes through on the first trade that happens is going to be the bot that harvests all the liquidity providers PRC20 tokens and then leaves a lot of pulse behind. So I would imagine that, this is me thinking about it, that liquidity providers would want to be able to control their stack a little more than letting an automated bot do it.
It gives you a good deal.
Unless it gets you an incredible deal, but it just depends. Like I said, it depends on how that's a lot of speculation you're leaving in someone else's hands or automation's hands. So I imagine that you might see if we are really close, if Richard does any telegraphing of we're 3 days out or a week out or something like that, then I would imagine you'd see liquidity get very sparse on the Hex pairings. That would, and then when we would make the fork, you'd imagine that the next maneuver would be that there would be a lot of incredible slippage, because if anyone is making any moves any which way, if you have Hex that you're planning on dumping for Pulse or PulseX or whatever it is that you're thinking you're going to do on the new side, there's going to be a lot less liquidity than there was before. I would imagine.
That is a interesting way to acquire PulseChain though, without buying it. I didn't even think about that. Just being a liquidity
provider. You could just put up liquidity provider for something else that you're not that inclined to hang on to on the other side.
Interesting. Yeah, but I don't like giving up putting your fate in someone else's hands. So
but that's the thing is you're getting this it's this risk reward of yes, you will be the first trade executed on the system that'll fill your pulse bag, so you can guarantee that one, but at the cost of not having any control.
Yeah. Might not work out.
Yeah, unless you're a pro like the guy that's on the other side of the laptop from Motley, I would not necessarily recommend doing too much the first few days, because it's going to be the Wild West, in my opinion, and it's if you don't know what you're doing, people can get wrecked really quick. So you waited 10 months to get to here, and you're willing to risk your bags. Don't
throwing coins out the window.
Yeah.
Jesse had an interesting play as well too, is going for those level C, level D ERC20s that no one's really thinking about, and being the first one that pulls the trigger and get your harvest your pulse that way instead of having to worry about slippage on the more popular pairs. So I thought that made sense to me as well. As long as it works out for him, that's cool.
Yeah, that was something I had thought of as well, is that there's going to be a lot of trading going on in the Hex, PulseX pairings, but every PRC20 is going to be filled. The liquidity provider is going to be filled with Pulse. So if that's what you're looking for, then yeah, there's possibilities on some other tokens that, you know, might have value on the other side. But man, but again, there's so many layers of speculation of like what's going to have value on the other side. Are you going to be able to execute trades? What's the slippage going to be? How much Pulse is it going to actually? Fuck, man, that's a lot of. These are variables that I'm like, I'm like, my math brain likes it and then hates it all in the same time. They're like,
I'm stepping away. I'm just not going to participate.
It's probably the smartest strategy, honestly.
well, man, that's what I've learned, is that like just not fucking with shit is better than doing anything else most of the time, you know.
Unless you guys give me an absolutely crazy ratio on PulseX, then I might dip my toes in a little bit, just a little bit.
Maybe I'll slide a little bit.
Yeah, depends how crazy people want to get with it.
Yeah, it's kind of like the odds that games give you, and you know, just did a little sports betting the past couple nights. Turned out very well because you pick the opportunities that are presented to you, and you cherry pick the best ones, like liquidity providing. I just wouldn't even touch it the first 2-3 days, like we've all been saying. So, I mean, if you can do it and do well,
the people that are the smartest in this situation, like, which I don't think it's not me, you know, but like the people that are actually the most intelligent and they're planning on making executions in this early realm, that like and have some sort of plan for it. A lot of them are coding up, you know, actual scripts to get this done at a code level, like, you know, at a much quicker pace than you sitting there clicking your MetaMask, finger clicking. So like if you're just thinking that you're gonna, you know, pull some hacker style shit on your MetaMask, like it ain't gonna happen. You know, it's not, you're not gonna beat people who are coding up scripts to get this done quicker than you can. I mean, these are 3-second blocks. They're not even 13-second blocks. You know, that's
so nice.
Yeah. Finbear wants to know if you drank from the fountain of youth there, Motley Investor.
Unless the Puerto Rican water is from the fountain of youth, no.
Well, it wasn't the Ponce de Leon? Where was
St. Augustine? That's in St. Augustine.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I have drank it from it before. It tastes like if someone had water and dumped like toothpaste in it. It tastes awful. But yes, I guess technically I have. Then I take that back. That was a while ago, though.
Great stream, bro. I'm a Leafs fan. Sorry, by the way. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I got some money out of that series, or one of the first couple games. Just saying. So
DJ
what sucks
Gambler
is
there.
you can bet against your home team and just write it off as an emotional hedge. So you win either way, really. So if your home team loses, then
I mean,
that's how much you bet. Fuck my home team.
Bet on my own team in the past, it's like a surefire way for them to lose. So no, yes. So Hex Ed, you're quite. Oh, there's another question.
Where we at?
He's got a couple, but
I will pull it up.
Go.
Yeah, that like yes.
Which question?
Oh, the question was, doesn't the bot only replace ETH? Yes, it does.
There we go. Yep.
Well, it doesn't replace the ETH. It's going to pull a lot of the PRC20s on the one side out and replace because like the ratios are off, you know? So like, let's say you've got a liquidity pool with 1,000 Ethereum worth, you know, $280,000 or something like, or whatever, $2.8 million or whatever right there. And it turns into 1,000 Pulse on the other side that worth like $1 or something.
It's going to try to get you the equivalent value.
It's going to balance that out by pulling the one side out and leaving more Pulse in. So there'll be like 10 million Pulse and only a third as many PRC20s on the other side, something like that, you know? So like because of that changing of the ratio, you know, there's both sides kind of get altered. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
But pairs that are not Ethereum based are not affected. So any pair that is, you know, hexahedron or anything like that, anything that's, you know, the crazier really pairs of all of them that to like think about is the ones that like the bot doesn't touch USDC bot pairings, right? So like what happens to all of those, you know? What happens to the, you know, the pairings when USDC becomes worth 1/10 or 100th of what it's. What is? I mean, what is everyone's prediction on that?
I was gonna say, is that speculation there? You're throwing a little bit out
It's
there.
insane speculations, but I'm just saying, like, what do you think? Are we going to be at a penny or at 10 cents or whatever? But like, that's going to matter because like that really is like that's not being decided on as far as like the bot goes. The bot isn't pulling out PRC20s and leaving more, like non-redeemable USDC behind. That's, although if somebody was to do that, if some benevolent whale out there was to do something like that, that for projects that should be worth value on the Pulse side, that would be pretty nifty.
What about what Blue Bum has said? I've heard him say this before, is that people will, I mean, he doesn't, at least I don't want to put words into his mouth, but from what he said, this is what I gathered, is he doesn't think that USDC will drop as hard as people think, because people just associate it as a dollar initially and kind of treat it as such. I mean, I don't think it's going to hold, and especially, there's so many.
I mean, maybe people think that, but like some fucking super whale that just doubled their literal dollar stack and can turn it into, wrapped Ethereum or something else that they think is actually worth money is going to dump that shit so fast.
And it's gone.
That's just nonsensical thinking right there. It's just like, I mean, and that's what's going to happen is that like it's going to go down a lot, So like, how much though? Those are deep liquidity pools on usually on that pair. So like,
yeah. Well, how about
100%? It can't go down to 100%. So like 99 or is 95? Because like the difference between 90 and 99 is a 90% drop. So like that's a huge difference. So like if it's worth even 8 cents a piece or something like that, that shit's mind blowing. That would be like, what? Holy shit! Honestly, like that's really would be crazy. That would be the craziest thing of everything.
Has there ever been an instance where USDC was not supported by Circle? Has there ever been a time, or Coinbase?
That's a great question.
No, I don't know. I mean, like they choose to deploy their contracts on whatever chain they want, but I don't know of any chain that they've been like. I mean, they've invalidated coins on. I mean, like I'm. That's not my. I'm not sure.
Well, here's the problem with that, Randy. We've never had stable coins like this airdrop before, right? Like we've never had something where the entire system state has been copied over. So I don't think this situation has ever arisen for for Circle to be in this position to begin with.
It's like just the fun, like the interesting things that can come up. The theoretical questions that we could have answered, because a lot of Unisocks taught us all that this is an experiment happening right in front of our eyes, and we're learning about, third-party liquidity providing in real time with over the past couple of years, and so the fact that the rest of the crypto community doesn't have any interest in answering or playing around with so much of these, to me, incredibly unique questions that we're going to get to have answered is, I mean, it's like once in a lifetime opportunity to be able to be a part of that and to find out these answers in real time and to know what works and what doesn't. And it just seems like a huge opportunity wasted by everybody that thinks that they're smart people in crypto right now. I mean, that
never been done. First impression, this is going to be absolutely wild. There's a ton of questions in chat. I did want to pose this one because this one came up in Freddie's stream a couple weeks ago. I don't know if you're on it, Big K, but Nerd Girl was asking, she was like, okay, if I have, say, some USDC or I have stable coin, if you gun to head, if you had to choose a stable going in just to hold and not Hex, but if you had to choose a stable, would it be USDT, USDT, or DAI? And I DAI, but
just follow the OA, baby. That's the best you can do if you want to keep it stables. That's it.
Yeah. So I mean, it's better than the rest.
Randy?
That's the only one to hold. I would never trust Circle. No way.
Yeah. The guy kill switch.
Yep. Let's see. Lots of these in here. Whoever wants to take a stab at them, first dibs. Can we even use Uniswap to pull liquidity after the fork?
I would think so. The bots,
That's a
because
good question.
bot's going in to
think so.
harvest it, right? You should still have access to your tokens.
You'll still have access to it, but will Uniswaps like who? It's not. It's a matter of who builds the front end to interact with the Uniswap contract first, and who releases it. And like again, that's one of those things where I'm not sure. Like if Richard's not doing that, because he's working on PulseX, obviously doesn't give a shit about Uniswap's liquidity. Then then it's up to somebody else to do it. And the people who are probably doing it right now might release it after the first week or so. But like, what is their inclination to give other people an advantage that they have spent time and energy and development time on building themselves? When if they have a front end that they can use for their what I mean? Like, I think that it might come about, but like, I don't know if it'll be there on day one.
I think it boils down to if you're providing liquidity, might be a good time to pull it. And, Hex does really well on low liquidity. Let's see where the price can go.
I think Freddie Quotes actually put that in the tweet a day or two ago, and it was like a what if liquidity.
We
talked
what I was
about initially referring to. That's. I mean, the numbers that were thrown around the thread were, I think a little higher than what reality is going to end up at, but. But that sure felt nice, huh?
Marley's like, all right, let's go.
See this thread, yeah.
There's a lot of bullhorns in that thread, and I'm cool with bullishness, but there was bullishness, like crazy,
like Gunther bullishness. $30 by Enda Sackface.
I'm catching up with all these questions in chat. Ewok says, "Won't the validators need a heads up? People are going to have to know it's coming a few days in advance, I would think."
Not sure.
I mean, they are going to have to download new software. Like there is definitely something that they're going to. I mean, there's going to have to be something announced. Yeah. I mean, that's a good call in that regard. I mean, I mean, I always thought that there was. I mean, I still was thinking that there might have been a version 3 public testnet that. That would happen, and then you'd get some kind of okay, in the next couple of weeks or something like that, But that's a good question. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
There's
a lot of good questions in chat. So this is more of one of speculative nature, which we always have fun speculating on this show. Do you think Richard will make an announcement of the launch or just go without notice? I mean, he said that he's going to provide some sort of notice, but how much notice will there be? Or do you have minds changed and you don't think there will be notice? I'll throw that one out there.
I don't know, man. I waver between it. Like I said, I mean, if you're putting out a business product that people are using a test net on and are expecting to have some sort of time to get their product right and ready, then in some ways I think that you kind of have to have some kind of launch timeline. On the other hand, like I said, there's advantages to not announcing it, but I said I would rather there be an announcement.
Oh, really?
Because I think so.
You're not the Johnny Chaos, throw it out there and go straight.
No.
Okay.
No, I think that an announcement would be better. I mean,
it's
a fair thing to do. Okay, because there are liquidity providers that are interested in being a part of PulseX, and if they're just forcibly forced into the automated market maker bot without any sort of warning, whatsoever, it's that does kind of suck for them, So having them have some kind of warning and to just be like, hey, it's coming up, maybe this week, next week, whatever, and for them to just pull it now, and to just not have any forward notion on when it's going to actually be, I think kind of sucks. So there's a lot of angles and a lot of people that are going to be, affected one way or another, so I mean, I'm trying to think through it all. I think I'd rather see, even if for my own selfish reasons, because I'd love to see liquidity providers pull and people realize that the fork is coming and that the most valuable asset they could find right now, because you can't get Pulse or PulseX at the moment, is going to be buying Hex pre-fork. I'd love to see that dynamic play out. That sounds really fun. It sounds
let me drop into this. Let me drop it. The person that asked that question was my mama, diehard Hex again. That's my mom. I just think that let's give us a forward warning. It doesn't have to be 2 weeks. It could be just 3 or 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, days is all I'm thinking.
Yeah. That kind of mitigates the speculators, because speculators like to rush in and they like to dump a couple days before the news breaks, right? Until the thing actually happens. So if you only give them like 5 or 6 days, they might not even participate, because it doesn't give them enough time to make that 3, 4, 5x that they want. So I think that's enough time. Please, Richard, please give us some time. Give us a heads up.
3 days to 5 days, enough time for liquidity providers to pull. Yeah. You don't actually, like I said, you don't have to give an exact window either. It's going to be here, and you can say, hey, it's coming. Like, get ready. Hold your breath, people. And then like that, everyone should know. If you don't get your ducks in a row, then it's open season.
Hex Toshi's asking us, what do we think the Hex price is going to be mid-May?
Oh boy, I haven't even gotten there yet. Hold on. Let me get down there. Just touching on the Circle and USDC. Let me see. Michael Late. Circle maintains the dollar peg. If Circle locks it in, this is a moot point. It's in their terms of service. If they support the fork, it will be known instantly.
I mean, again, it would be crazy for them to be like, we're supporting this Pulse fork by offering, we just doubled our cash reserves to like, how does that work? So like, I think that they could put out a new contract, on Pulse going forward, but
this is the hype. It's a HyperX, guys. You can get them on Amazon. I think it was like $120 or $130, something like that.
Is that the Crypto Events 369 globe?
Yeah, we both the same. We have the same link. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Crypto Collector, a collector of cryptos, hopefully of the PulseChain variety. When I move my eHex over to the PulseChain, I will end up with wrapped eHex. My question is, will the price be the same or will it be diluted? I'm trying to understand.
Not sure yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, we don't know. Like, I mean, what do you mean? Will the price of eHex dump afterwards? Possibly.
Yeah,
but the price that you have your wrapped eHex on the PulseChain will be worth the same.
Word it correctly,
as the unwrapped eHex on the Ethereum chain. They should be worth the same value.
The wrapped eHex will maintain the value of whatever eHex price is. Now, I think he's asking is, will that maintain the same value as Hex on PulseChain, which we don't know yet, obviously.
We don't know.
Yeah. I think that's what the question was.
We do not know yet. Although Richard has mentioned that he would like the price of Hex to be expensive everywhere. So, I mean, I also would like that, but I don't always get exactly what I want. So, like, we don't, prepare for disappointment.
Yeah, I think once we have the eHex,
won't be disappointed.
That when we have an eHex Hex pair, that's when we really start seeing what the truth is going to be.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it's really a question, a matter of like, you have to ask yourself, like, the variables at hand. You have to ask yourself, what is there to gain from one side or the other, because like the share rate's going to be the same, so, and then what is that arbitrage value worth? Like it will be considerably cheaper. It costs you $8 to $15 to open a stake right now on Ethereum chain. It will be pennies on the Pulse side. So like whatever that value is, that you have to calculate into the new price. Whatever the value is of being able to unstake a stake, that is, instead of spending hundreds of dollars for a year-long plus stake, you'll be spending pennies. So like that right there, you have to factor in as far as like what the new speculative value is. Now, do they both offer similar interest rates on both sides? Yes, they do. So like, do they both have utility and store of value? Yes, they do. Just one has this extra friction and rub of the Ethereum fees that you have to deal with, and then like you have to also calculate in what the between cost savings and what the cost of bridging a back and forth would be for trade. All that is like little variables that matter. And like, and I don't think though that even though those are friction on the Ethereum side, that means that the Ethereum hex is worth nothing, by any means. I still think it's still very valuable, but just like there may be some arbitrage or some difference in price there that should affect, one's 19, the other 17, because like
it's kind of like Maximus right now. I saw when we went to that almost 20% premium of Maximus, and I actually sold my Maximus, went back to Hex. I said 20% premium, shit, I'll take that all day long. Going back to Hex, and it's going to fluctuate. It might be one of those trades that you can just make for the next 15 years. Who knows? We don't know.
What was your slippage on that? Because I haven't looked at Maximus liquidity, but I imagine there's probably not too many people.
It wasn't that much because it wasn't a ton. It was only about 100,000 maxi, so it wasn't a ton.
Okay.
If you go bigger, of course, there's going to be massive slippage. I think I had less than 1%.
Something to consider if people are thinking about doing that with maxi. It's like if you start doing larger numbers, probably not much liquidity.
You get wrecked.
No. Yep.
Shout out to friend of the show, Dolomite. We need like a Jimmy Walker Good Times GIF kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, Dolomite, like kind of thing going on with that.
I like that logo he's got going on there with all the hexagons inside the hex. Yeah.
But yes, Big K or friends over on the boardwalk who I may or may not see later tonight, who may be partaking in stuff, have a joint on the Dolomite.
That's nice.
As soon as Pulse goes live, I get to
PulseChain.
open up this PulseChain Puffco
Let's
that
go.
we've got here.
Is that a Pulse Co?
That's a Pulse, the PulseCo right here.
Yeah,
yes. I can't wait to open it up. I got it in anticipation. It's been waiting for a few months now. For me to open it up.
Shit we do in life.
It was so wild. So the brand Puffco that I enjoy these little things here. They came out with a tequila sunrise Puffco that is the exact hex colors. Like it was November of 2019, like a month before Hex came out, and they did a limited run of those. So I got one of those, and then now they came out with the Pulse one, almost and uncannily on time. I feel like there's a hexagon somewhere working at Puffco somewhere that's.
Louis Vuitton too. They came out with like PulseChain hex gradient purses not too long ago.
They have. I got a bandana mask combo that I got to go pick up actually.
Mm-hmm.
Coincidence? I mean, they have
I
a
think
known
not.
large customer.
Yep, they do.
Good stuff. Good
I'm
stuff.
saying.
We talked about validators earlier. I saw this on, I think it was Hexray Vision stream. He had a really good one with DFed and might have been Rags on there. But the analogy was brought up, and I think DFed spoke on it briefly, but it was like a choo-choo train, basically. It's like the validators are going to take time to get up to speed. So don't expect everything to be just like lightning quick right out of the gate. Like
Might be a little bit slower than expected to start.
That's true. I mean, whenever there's a fork of a chain, depending on you can expect there to be like blocks that come out longer than expected, orphany kind of situations happening early on. Just the chain. I mean, it's exactly that. There's a bunch of people that all have to download and sync up new software. And if they have to download an entire, database of a previous blockchain, that can take, depending on what we're talking about. I mean, Ethereum's DAG is like over 4 gigabytes, I believe, because I don't think you can mine it on 4 gigabyte graphics cards anymore, or it's like really close. So there's a lot of data that you need, and that's not really how the blockchain, but there's a lot of data that you need to download to have a blockchain running properly on your machine, on your system. It's it will definitely take some time, but I imagine that whatever nodes the developing team is going to push, the software out on first will be what everyone's connecting to begin with.
A thought-provoking question from our friend Children of the Grave, or is it a riddle, Big K? If my aunt has balls, does that make her my uncle?
I mean, they could just be basketballs, Jeez,
I did see
I
the Batman movie with the Riddler. I actually kind of enjoyed that.
We did too. We did too.
Any other good movies you've seen recently? I saw the latest Bond movie was pretty good. Although I'm not going to spoil the end, but I didn't think the end was possible with the franchise the way it
New
is.
Doctor Strange movie, bro. I haven't seen it yet. Don't
How
ruin
is-
it if
how
anyone's
is
seen
that?
it. I haven't seen it, but it looks.
I want to.
I want to see it. Yeah, I'm gonna maybe go tonight or tomorrow. We'll see.
It does look cool. I did recently see both The Bad Guys, which with my daughter, it's a PG movie. It's pretty good. And then also Sing 2. So if you're looking for kids movies to bring your children to out there, everyone, Sing 2, excellent. Like the first one, like the second one, fantastic. The Bad Guys, a little adult, a little adult for a 5-year-old, but it's the big bad wolf. It's kind of like a big bad wolf does Ocean's 11 kind of thing, But so yeah, kids movies that are coming out decent as well.
Yeah.
I just watched Patton from 1970 on Star last night. That's an old school one, where he slaps the one soldier who was afraid to go back to battle. And he tells him to go back to battle. It's like, don't be a little wimp, and he slaps the guy. Yeah,
I'd probably get sued for that today in today's.
Yeah, he practically did back then, and then that was World War II. So, it was a true story, and they had it in the movie. And I just really enjoy that movie. It's when there were great men who still who wanted to make sure that we were living a good life and everything. So.
Back when the military was military and we weren't concerned about gender or color or feels or anything.
Or feels, right? There was no feels.
Thomas Coleman asks, what's the difference between farming and pooling on PulseX?
I'm not the best person to answer this. I was never
pooling.
Okay, so I was never a degen. I was never a degen dude, so.
So like if you're talking like pooling,
Richard saying's a little different because he switched up the vernacular of it, but one of them is just like PulseX staking, where you get the third-party token, and then the other one,
right?
And the other one's the traditional farming that we're all aware of, where you can essentially farm the incentive token plus the
liquidity farming.
Fees. Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, liquidity farming is like I think what they're trying to say, what he means is that like liquidity farming or mining or whatever you want to call it, providing liquidity to get an incentive reward, will be something that requires two different assets to be put up. So you're gonna have to have a pair of some kind. I mean, I guess you can do it with like Uniswap V3. You do it with one asset on one side. It's basically like a limit order kind of, But I mean, like, there's like it's basically you're going to want to be providing two assets, which has more risk. There's impairment loss as a possibility, that kind of thing. Whereas single-sided staking, is what the other side of that is just like you lock up one of your tokens for I don't think it's going to be a set period of time, maybe a day or something like that, and then you'll be able to gain rewards for that as well. But there'll be different. Each thing will be offering different rewards. One will be like, in the incentive token. I think the other one will be PulseX. I don't know, somebody help me with that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be PulseX.
Okay, cool. So yeah, then you'll have two different, types of. But again, it just depends on
the PRT token. Everyone calls party token. So what it's supposed to be is third parties that want to launch their projects on PulseChain. They can offer a certain token allocation to single-sided staking PulseX stakers. So they could say allocate 1 to 5% of their token supply, and they can distribute that to people that are willing to stake their PulseX. So that's what the PRT token is supposed to be. It's just going to be whoever comes to build on PulseChain, if they want to allocate some to their the PulseX stakers to gain favor with the community, then they can distribute it that way. So
that's how Cake did so well, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what Cake did. Right.
Same model.
Cake is the one that's on Binance Smart Chain.
Oh wait.
Mm-hmm.
Or Pancake Swap.
Where'd you go, man? Where'd you go?
He snuck in. He's going to get another bite.
Yeah, I mean, I think for the user though, it's basically like whether you want to provide single-sided stake, you're like one token that you're not willing to risk, losing any of that token. You're just willing to lose the time of having it for the day or whatever time to make some reward for it versus
all for
having
that.
multiple variables. Yeah,
I'm
I think
telling
single-sided
people-
staking being an option is fantastic.
Just be very wary of being an LP provider. It's one of those things like don't put any more than you can afford to lose. That whole
Yeah, I mean, like, are you good with spreadsheets? Do you want to do some math and figure out some stuff? Because if you just pulled out a Post-it note and did some quick numbers like that, you might get yourself wrecked. So it takes more to that than just just being like, oh, I get this. I can make some extra coin. Be careful with liquidity providing. That's for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
We are touching on all things this stream, a lot of PulseChain related stuff. So we'll throw this to Randy Hilarski first. And I'm happy to see Motley is back as well, because I know you both stacked for this. D-Money, D-Monet, Fiat versus liquid loans, ready, set, go.
All right, I like both. Okay, I think we need both.
Very diplomatic of you, sir.
Yes, very diplomatic, and I sacked for both. So I think liquid loans I'm going to be using more for just the PulseChain, Pulse, so I don't have to sell my Pulse, and I'll be using Fiat.io for my Hex and other tokens, because Fiat.io I think be more of a broad spectrum, right? You'll be able to participate with a lot more tokens on Fiat platform, and once again, you just take your coins and you stake them and you earn some rewards. So it's like a recurring theme here with your loan tokens, stake them, earn some rewards.
Yield, baby.
Don't play games, get that yield. The whole thing is to get FU money, and to get FU money, you need to make money while you're sleeping. And that's exactly what we're doing by earning these rewards.
Facts.
Yep. You echo that there, Motley Investor.
I invested in both. One way more than the other. But Randy's right. They're two different things, right? Yes, they're both kind of a lending platform, but they're accomplishing kind of two different goals. And then Fiat does get you a little bit more of a wider spectrum, and you can finally essentially short Hex, just like Richard always wanted. So if you want to go short Hex, go have fun, be careful, and just know if you get wrecked shorting Hex, you're gonna pay me because I'll be a Fiat staker. So
when shorting Hex becomes available, the first email I send is going to be to Cody Willard.
Nice. I hope he partakes. I would love for that to happen.
He asked for it.
He said he would. So by all means,
I love him, but you know what? If you
put your money where your mouth is,
so I will give you the opportunity if that becomes available.
When you're wrong, you're wrong.
We got a great first client for Fiat. I love it.
Oh man, yeah, I'm a little bitter about Fiat because I'm pretty much I staked just about every Hex I got, and that it just fell within the wrong window. And I know Wales only made a joke, and he was like, "Oh, well, all the Hex going into Maximus." He was like, "You can see how how many liquid Hex tokens people had because of the amount sacked." And I was like, "Oh, that was kind of like a funny point, actually."
But it's not anymore, right?
Right.
It did a great job. It did its purpose.
But yeah, I wish I would have gotten bigger into.
So let me ask you a question, because I actually think they did this really well, and this is one of the reasons why I ended up investing much heavier into Fiat. Was it because you were all staked? But did you actually hear about it in time to actually reach, because they had a 2.5 million soft cap, and then 4 million hard cap. Did you hear it in time to even hit the 2.5 million? Okay, no. Because that went. So if you
I it was
heard about 10 hours.
After that.
I didn't go as big as I could have because I was locked up, but I didn't know of it. I was just hands,
So this is what they did that was really good, and I like how they structured it because it was innovative, right? It was a very cool style of sacrifice that we haven't seen done yet. Essentially, you gave a low equity evaluation to all the people that wanted to invest in your product, which was Fiat, because they capped it at 2.5 million soft cap. If you got a 1.6x multiplier for the first 500K sacrifice, then you got a 1.4 multiplier for the next million sacrifice, and then you got just a flat rate at the million, and then they had a certain percentage. I can't remember off the top of my head. I want to say it's 45% of equity was available in that 2.5 million round. So what they did is they gave you like a really good equity evaluation if you want to start in. So essentially you have this amazing upside for the token when it launches. And then outside that, up to 4 million, the last 20%, you got to fill in for the rest. So 65% was available to the community. And so what you saw was there was 1 million sacrificed within less than like a minute or two. And then 2.5 million closed out within a couple hours. And then the 4 million trickled in over the next couple of days until they essentially closed it off. So it just shows you they structured it really well. Everyone got, the people that wanted to come in and invest in this project, they got a very large piece of equity for a very reasonable amount of money. Whereas like something that might have raised 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 million dollars, you have a much higher evaluation from the start. This actually, and they kind of targeted like a smaller group of people, and it just kind of spread by word of mouth. And there was a lot more, which I would probably classify diamond-handed hexagons, or hexagons that have been around a long time, don't really need the money. We're interested in that yield. So I think, again, that's another pump and middle for the token, is there's going to be very few of those holders that hold large positions, myself included, that are looking to sell that token anytime soon.
All right. Well, if you have any OTC, hit me up.
Somebody cared, because it was the best performing short video I made all week on TikTok. Was my fiat video.
I think it's
everyone want to know. They're like, Randy, how do I participate? Dude, you missed it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's gone already. And that's another thing, right? Like you're going, and this is kind of speaks to like crypto stylists or whatever, like with their fashion, but they kind of like they've created this like demand and hype around their product already, because it was almost exclusive by the fact of how quickly their sacrifice phase went. The moment you heard about it or anything, it was just like, it's gone. Like you had a day or two. If you were lucky, you had only a day to get in the first 2.5 million round. And after that, it's just like, you have to buy on open market. That's it. Sorry. And it's like something like Supreme or anything where they just do a limited run and you either get in or you don't. If not, you're going to have to you're going to have to wait for it to buy on market. It's genius. And that was one of the things, because I got notified of the sacrifice like hours before. And so I'm like frantically trying to do the research, and I'm like reading all on the website. Well, and like one of the devs was really helpful answering my questions in the chat. Then I had a voice chat, got more of my questions answered. And then it just struck me how genius the sacrifice phase was structured. And like, it wasn't them trying to get overly greedy or anything like that. And it's pretty much, it aligned everyone's incentives for this thing to succeed, right? And I think that's the best chance you can have for success when it comes to these third-party tokens being created. And it was a niche fit. Like we at Legion were actually looking at doing a fork of Aave because it just made sense. It was something that no one had done on PulseChain yet. So we were eyeballing it, and then they did it within like a couple of weeks. It was like, well, it's even better than building it, being able to invest in it. So it was an easy decision for me.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, just the fact, like, I think that kind of structuring is better anyways, because, I mean, too often do you see, I mean, I remember, like, in the ICO style, 2017, 18 things that were going on, a lot of companies would get a huge valuation, and that's not actually necessarily that great. If
right.
You know what you need, like, I think that a company that knows what they need and what kind of runway they're looking for, exactly, I can respect it, and I can appreciate that they know that they're not trying to over allocate too much money that they might not be able to spend accordingly. So like, I think it's a really adult thing overall for them to do. And even, and like you said, the way it worked was great, worked well. It happened very quickly. I mean, so yeah,
like hours, pretty much the first round, right?
I got in the first
and like,
year.
I mean, and if you do the math on it, like the 20% for the other 1.5 million, that was there, is really not, I mean, it's really,
so it was, I think if you got in the first tier with the 1.6x multiplier, you got like an 8-cent evaluation. Even if you got there late at the last 20% equity, I think you still got like a 12-cent evaluation per the token. So it's not even everyone's incentives are in line for it to succeed. So even if you got late to it, but you were still in the sacrifice, you did well.
Yeah, and I was right at the end. I have no idea whether I'm in the C tier or the whatever it is. They
just
released official checker, so I'll forward that to you, Randy, so you can check it out.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
So I was thinking about launches and stuff, and I watch Trivon probably 3 times a week. I'm one of his subscribers, and he's always talking about projects that he's interested in are projects that have low liquidity and ones that have low valuations. And those are the ones who bring in the people with the big wallets, because they come in like, oh, let's do this because we know we can make 50x out of this, right? So I'm starting to learn a lot from people that are in that game. I was never one of them. I was always the one that, I was always a buy the rumor, sell the news guy. But there's a new skill set to be learned in crypto, and that is to find these gems. And I think PulseChain is going to have a whole bunch of them. I had a great meeting yesterday with a team that's coming to PulseChain exclusively. They've already did their VC round. They've got millions upon millions upon millions of dollars. They're coming to PulseChain and they want to do their launch. They're asking me how to do their launch. And I said, you know what? You don't need to do a SAC. So they're not planning on doing a SAC. They're talking about doing an airdrop to PulseX and PulseChain sacrificers. And then on top of that, just launch the token on PulseX with maybe 20% of their supply and have matching liquidity of like $100, $200, $300,000 and talk about it for weeks and let it run. I mean, it doesn't take much anymore. There's a certain way we can do. There's multiple ways you can do it, but there's certain ways you don't have to have a lot of money. If you have a really good idea and you have a Solidity dev to help you, the game has changed forever. You don't even need the big VCs anymore. Used to, but you don't even need them anymore. So look at the guy who did
good devs are hard. They're hard to find.
Yeah, they're hard to find, and quality ones on top of that too.
And they
look at
pay top dollar.
I don't like the Pulse Doge token or whatever it's called.
Coin.
I like the Pulse Doge
coin.
Pulse Doge coin. Right? I don't like it because they
took
over the name. Yeah, that was so lazy.
Just lazy.
So that's my son banging against the wall. The way they launched it though with the low liquidity was genius. Airdrop, low liquidity, and look what the price has done. It's done almost a 3x. So congratulations to them. Just proves that you don't need much. Even terrible marketing, you'll still win if you airdrop. That's crazy to me, but it works. Oh, Cabana left us.
There was I don't know
I'm
if
here.
you guys saw it. There was a sacrifice today, or I saw it, and one of our buddies hit us up like all crazy. He's like, "Bro, there's a sacrifice. It just came out." And it's already raised like $37 million or something crazy. Like, what? That doesn't sound right at all. Like, okay, and I haven't heard of this thing yet. I think it was, I don't even know if I want to name it, but it sounds like they essentially just used, like, I was like, bro, look at the top like 10 holders. Like, are they just like cycling their own money into this? And then evidently it sounds like they already have the tokens minted, and they probably have some BS value on it already, and they were just dumping their own tokens back into the sacrifice, and they're like the top 10 wallets. I was just like, yeah, dude, like that's not
the
legit at all.
token.
Yeah, I was like, come on, man. Like they literally created a token, gave it a bullshit value, and then they dumped millions of dollars into it, and then they created the hype. People that just don't know better, right? They see sacrifice $30-something million. They're like, let me ape into this, and people were sending hex and all this stuff. I was like, ooh, careful with that. So I'm not even gonna name that one.
No. What wise move? Wait.
Yeah.
You can't say that word either.
Yeah.
Where was I at? I'm trying to catch up with chat here. So this is becoming more of a question on the Twitters. Most Texans, in my opinion, will stay put on both chains. I think that's a contrarian view. I feel like that's my opinion there. But I feel like the whole bridging and all the other options of arbitrage, etc., is too confusing for most folk. Too much risk? ? I think the prevailing viewpoint right now is eHex is gonna go down, and compared to PHEX, but I there's been other things out there to I think Rackham threw a tweet out there about what was it? What was the word? The key
stock split.
No, not the stocks, but along those lines, it was a wrapping or something like that. But
he was also telling us we missed our chance with 20 cents hex, and here we go with the dip. So buy up, Rackham, buy up. Put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah, so it's like where we've thrown this around a bunch on this show, but now that we're getting really close, like, is there a percentage? Hey, eHex versus PHEX. Do you think eHex could drop 50%? Do you think it would be closer to, parity? What is it out there? I think eHex is going to drop. I just don't know how much. But who wants to go first, Big K?
That's a good question. I would love to know who wants to go first.
I think we're going to get a fat drop in EHEX, okay? And it's going to be similar to when we had Big Payday, and everyone's going to come over to PHEX. But remember, yield is where it's at. The price of PHEX may be higher, but the yield will probably be higher on EHEX. So which one do you want? In the end, it'd probably be almost equal. So there's going to be an opportunity to arbitrage between the two. That's the way I look at it.
And as much as I love PulseChain, especially the fact it doesn't even exist yet, Ethereum, whether we like it or not, is still the premier layer one, right? Like it just is. Yeah, it has shitty fees, but it is the premier chain where everything's built on. Like PulseChain's coming here to, throw its hat in the ring, but Ethereum is still, it's impressive. It's done what a lot of other tokens couldn't do. And like Randy said, I'd like to keep the yield generating machine on both chains. So be careful if you want to get cheeky with your EHEX and HEX plays. Just be careful.
Well, yeah. The thing that like I mentioned before is that I don't think that that like there's a lot of arbitrage reasons for one over the other. But that doesn't mean that like the one on Ethereum is not going to have any value. It still offers the same product on both chains, just one with more fees and slightly slower and whatever. They're very, you said that it's still a premier chain. And while I do think that EHEX can take a dip, I'll be honest with you, I think that the EHEX dip, I'll hold for this. I think that the EHEX dip is going to be proportional in some ways to the run-up that we see before PulseChain. Because in the weeks before Big Payday, we saw HEX gain 5x value in less than 2 weeks, something like that. And then proceed to lose a lot of it, for sure. But like it ran up a lot, and so that's gonna matter a lot, because a lot of what it tells me in that those motions is that there's a lot of speculators speculating on that day and what was going to happen at that day. They got in, you saw them get in, and then you saw a lot of people get out. That was so that similar relationship's going to happen, and it really matters more, I think, the amount of like from the 9 cent floor or so, 9.5, 10 cent, whatever floor that we saw, on up from here. There's a lot of people who have sat around through, like, we've been up and down through this for a while. They had plenty of opportunity to sell, so like I don't think that it's as much them as, that'll be speculating on the buy and sell, the rumor, kind of move, than it will be what we see on the run up here. So like, I think that there are people that are going to be a part of that that'll sell, that have been holding on this whole time. But I also think that it really matters as like a percentage basis how much we run up. If we run up 5x, then I can see us doing an 80% drop. Sure.
It's good analysis. I like it.
I really like that. Good job, man.
But the thing is, the thing that we're going to see that we're going to have to deal with as far as a community, there's going to be a lot of FUD out there because the HEX price on Ethereum is going to take that dip, and nobody knows about PulseChain, right? So there's going to be a lot of education going on. It's like the same thing. I'm going to say something right now. You guys don't
to battle.
I'm going to say something right now. You guys, the whole community, shut the fuck up. Just listen. when Axion, everyone said it was a rug pull. It wasn't a rug pull. They just changed their contract, and it was a new token. So the coin went to zero, but you still see people saying that Axion was a rug pull. That chart was invalidated because it was no longer that coin. They made a whole new coin. So that when this happens with HEX, and you got the EHEX version, and that goes down 80%, you're going to see a lot of shit talking, like people like Eric Wall and all these saying, "Oh, HEX is going down," and we're like, dude,
over here,
shift your eyes a little bit. We now have PulseChain, and that's why we have PulseChain, is because HEX was getting wrecked on Ethereum. So
God damn it, Randy! Why you got to bring down my vibe, bro? You reminded me of this because like Wendy's and I had this conversation with like, what does what's the ultimate way just to prove the haters wrong, right? It's the Hex price chart. Like, you can't beat it. That thing is, it's the best looking chart in crypto. When we do go to PulseChain and we get that dip, yeah, it's all the fucking haters and shit that just been waiting for their day to come out of the woodworks and say the same shit again.
The point to that one without
I just get
other
tired
people
of
knowing
that.
better.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then it's just
Yeah,
like,
I mean-
hey, we got PulseChain.
I mean, you gotta remind yourself that like that was that website, like the Bitcoin obituaries website. Like, how many times has the whole world declared Bitcoin dead before? You know, so like expect it, man. Expect that regularly, especially if you're
Start pulling the Hex
site still alive, the hexobits.com or whatever it was.
I think Coffee runs that, actually.
Yeah, that was a great. I hope it's still up, man. That was awesome.
Start pulling the Hexo and start digging into your old screenshots and files and get ready, because those same haters are gonna come right back out. Like, see, told you Hex is dead. Like, Peter McCormick's gonna come in and say Hex is dead. So there's your buy signal for eHex.
But maybe that's
when
like
he comes
the final
in.
moment of peace, to where like they can declare victory and we don't give a crap what they think. But it's like, okay, well, you know, we see it on the ETH chart, and then we're just, you know, over partying with P-Hex or, you know, Hex at that point. And maybe that's the happy ending that everyone, you know, loves.
So guys, I need a dev, man. I got to build this. I have this great token, and everyone said I should call it the STFU token.
No, man, I'd love to
And
airdrop
certain
it to all the
stack
haters.
incentives are good for certain individuals. you get extra perks depending on your Twitter handle, maybe.
Oh god, that's
great.
Oh man,
It's great.
Rolling is a pain here. Crypto Collector, I'm still trying to catch up in chat, guys. Tons of questions tonight. Is there a max amount one can single-sided stake for PulseX? We don't know that yet.
I think that there was on testnet, on the last testnet version, but I don't. Yeah, but I don't know if that's going to be like a going forward thing or not. I'm not sure.
I hope not.
I sure hope not, because I don't want to spread it out in like a bunch of wallets. You know,
I mean,
it's
just
them trying to combat the whales, right? Because you want people to allocate their new token to the ecosystem, but at the same time, you don't want a couple whales to just get like the majority of the supply and just nuke it. So it's a give and take kind of thing. We'll see, but I think you'll be able to vote on it in the future with the DAO. So
yeah, and I think that, I mean, like, you know how that game is the whales are with all the money are the ones that can pay the developers to write a script to split wallets. You know, like that's not that hard to do. I mean, it's really.
There's actually websites now. I'll have to look them up. I have them bookmarked, but there's websites now where you can essentially put the commands you want for simple scripts, and it'll do all the coding for you. And so, like, I'm already working on like writing a script now to do that very same thing for the numerous wallets I have, to essentially stake the PulseX and then reap the yield from all of them without me having to essentially just click a button, one button.
Yeah, guys, send that over to me, dog.
I got you, bro. I got you.
Crypto Summer, who is selling Hex before the fork? Insane. Well, I mean, traders going to trade. Arb's going to arb and front run, and it's what makes the market. Right?
Yeah, I mean, people watch this. What's going on here is to take advantage of the small moves too, you know. And even though, like, literally the overriding messages to buy and hold and stake long, people are still like, no. I'm just listening for when I should buy now and sell later, you know. Which is fine. I get it. You know, that's how it works. So yeah, we'll see people selling, people buying.
Roos. Shout out to him. Interesting. Donald Brandt, to date, I have not checked my SAC total on any checker. My SAC amount is registered on Etherscan. Should I be concerned?
You should always be concerned with your SAC, Donald.
Yeah, check your SAC, bro. You can go on the PulseChain Telegram, PulseChain.com, t.me/PulseChain.com, and like in the bot messages right there, there'll be a link for it, you know. Or it's on PulseChain.com as well. But you definitely go check your SAC balance, just because like there was some people that it didn't register, and they fixed it right away. But they had to send a message, you know, over. They have like a little report tool that's right in the SAC checker.
Yeah,
the old SAC checker.
If you have a partner, they can check your SAC for you.
Absolutely.
You don't have to give away your seed words to check your sack. You just have to give away your public.
Here you go, Rackham. Come join the stream, Rackham.
Never give away your seed. Like, it should be earned.
No. Mm-hmm.
Okay, just putting that out there.
Only
it's got to be earned, not given away. I mean, it's just
14 pulses later, and then you're
mystery,
screwed, man.
All right. Anyway, let's see. Here we go. Lots of questions coming in and about fiat. Yeah, Monica, it is too late to sack for that one. Does anybody know if fiat has any interest rates or repair terms? The website has no information on how it actually works.
Go check out Aave, because it's a fork of Aave.
There you go.
Yeah.
And as I recall, Randy, you were a fan of the Aave.
I was part of the. I always say I'm part of the team, but I wasn't back then. I was just a fanboy, and I met the guys at Steamfest 2 in Lisbon. They were there, shilling the project during the ICO, and I met them and sat down and chit chat. I was like, "Wow, this seems amazing." So I put some money in, and it was my first ICO that I ever did that did a 10x right out the gate for day one. Boom! I was like, "What is this?" I'm like, "Whoa, okay." And yeah, I did miss out on the huge run of Aave because I sold mine at a much lower rate, but it's okay. I mean, look, it's DeFi. DeFi is here to stay, and we need something like Aave on the PulseChain ecosystem.
Yeah, Meltoni, shout out. Haven't seen you in a long time, so good to see you back. These price quotes are, I'm not sure how old yet, but scrolling down, trying to catch up in chat. You guys are like on fire tonight. Dolomite. Hello, Nanner.
Motley, what the hell, man? You're gonna look like me soon.
I'm no Bitcoin maxi, so I'm not gonna eat this on stream, but I'll make sure to turn the camera off.
Should we cross bananas, bro?
Yeah, let's do it, bro. Get it for the meme.
There you go. Anyway, yeah. How much from your total bag of Pulse and PulseX will you delegate, liquidity, etc.? I mean, it depends upon the individual, what your goals are, what timeframes are. I mean, I guess taking from this one, how many? I mean, obviously, PulseChain people are so bullish on it over PulseX, in my opinion. Just based upon social media, what we're hearing, what we're seeing in videos. How many sellers do you think are out there that are just Motley? I was calling you, bro.
What's up, guys? Don't mind me.
Calling Motley. How many sellers are out there that you think are just going to dump their PulseChain because this has been in their wallet or in their sacked, allocation for like 10 months?
There's definitely some people. I mean, like I can remember talking about this a while back when I was like, man, 3 months is a long time to hold on to people's money.
I remember that. You're like, oh man, we need to have like this launch, within weeks.
Mistakes were made.
I'm hoping it happens. I'm hoping it happens next month. I'm like, fuck,
right.
I'm so wrong. Ooh. Well, yeah. I mean, there's definitely some of that. I'm sure that there's people there's like, here's the thing, is that even though we're trying to preach some reasonability here, there's still people out there who probably spent money they didn't even have or shouldn't have even spent, or that they fucking need, like now, and like I'm not here to fault those people and tell them they're wrong or whatever, but like that there's guaranteed some of the 80,000 addresses or whatever that sacrificed for Pulse, that like many thousand of them that will probably sell as soon as they get their hands on the coins. That will happen.
Agree, Randy?
Yeah, but there's an overwhelming tsunami of people who want Pulse.
I think so too. I think that's going to outweigh it.
Yeah.
There is, I mean, that is the thing, is that there is a lot more people that there's an insane demand. There's already a lot of people that are super into it. And that, like, I mean, 25 or 30% more people that sacrificed for PulseX, at least, if not more than that, and more money. And so like there's a lot of people that weren't able to get Pulse that were able to get PulseX, and
and it's gone.
So like there's that dynamic at play too. We talked about that earlier. But you're right. There's gonna be a lot of people that want that Pulse. A lot of people that want that Pulse.
All right. Randy does not back away from any questions, so I'm going to pull this one up from George S. Randy. You kidding?
No, man. Pulse Doge win is the game. They have such an amazing plan for Pulse Doge when it launches on PulseChain. They've got the echo staking with up to maximum 1 year stakes. They got a set amount of tokens that are going to be divvied out. There is no inflation. And then they have on top of that a huge deflationary time where you have these NFTs that are be giving out to a lottery. You don't know if you're going to win, and you have to burn Pulse Doge win tokens in order to participate in this lottery to win these NFTs. These guys, their NFT game is strong. No one even comes close. So, we got a team. I think there are like 28 people on their team. If anybody knows, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's 28 people. How many other products or projects and PulseChain do we know that have 28 team members? That's pretty damn strong. That's pretty damn strong. So, that's why I like them. Pulse Dogecoin, I just thought it was such a low blow to use the same term or same name that's already was used with another project.
That was like as much as Richard preaches about branding, and I'm come from a marketing background. That's my only gripe. I love the supply dynamic. I think that's great. I love how like whales weren't necessarily rewarded with that, and it kind of like balanced kind of like dolphins and whatnot. But like the name, man,
the name. Why?
Come on,
It's a meme token too. It's like you could call it anything.
Anything you wanted.
You're like, Pulse Doge coin sounds pretty good. That exists already, right? It's like, yeah, I like it.
I'm looking at my phone like, am I seeing this right? What?
Yeah, that's an interesting take on it. I mean, here's my other take on it though, is they did give me free coins. So I know you guys know how much I like getting given free coins. So that was one huge plus for them.
My family altogether probably got like 10 grand off of that airdrop. Thank you.
Yeah, where you at, Pulse Doge win? Give me my free coins. Let's compete to the death.
Yeah, I get some free coins. I'm all about it. I'm just saying. I'm not saying that it wasn't a low blow. I'm not saying those other things aren't true. I mean, they also do have socks. So that's a thing that they do have.
All's fair in love and meme games, meme coins. No mercy.
But it does make things extra confusing, and there's a lot of fun things it could have been.
Shout out Crypto King. So he put the link in chat there for nominating RH.
Crypto King just said G. Edward Griffin called him. Damn, that's pretty cool. If you guys know who G. Edward Griffin is,
that's pretty awesome.
One of my heroes.
King is working on a lot behind the scenes, so good for him.
Yes,
thank you very much. But yeah, that the
always
Richard
networking.
Constant, like does not stop. What's the market cap of STFU and will be listed only centralized?
Tell us, Randy. Give us all the deets.
You guys know me too well. It's not good.
Oh man. Let's see. I'm finally catching up in chat. What's up, Marion? Good to see you. Gold Key. What's up, man? Congrats on you and Dipcatcher's successful launch of Maxi. That was just cool to see. And how about, let's just touch on that. Like almost 300 million hex locked in supply. I'll just throw it around the room because I forget which. There's so many good streams out there. I think it might have been Jim Rat's stream that Wendy's was on, but he has my way of thinking in terms of, say, maxi type big stakes pooled tokens. 6 months, should this be a thing, like a recurring thing? Because I certainly think that would be outstanding, and I agree with them on that. Thoughts on this being recurring? What's the time interval per quarter, per 6 months, per year? Any thoughts on that? Anyway, hello.
I think I like it more, please. Maybe I mean
More,
like
please.
it's a good question. It's a good question. Maybe try it again if in 6 months you do it again and Maxi 2 or whatever comes out and you get another 300 million coins, then obviously the demand is there that you need to be doing it quarterly. You know, if in 6 months you do it and you barely hit the 150 mark or whatever, then like, okay, you know, the demand might be such that let's try this next year at the same time. You know, like that, like you got to kind of figure that out. I mean, it's not really a lose situation in the sense that like even if you get 75 million coins in there, it's still a bigger percentage than those people were going to get before. You know, so like, I mean, if you're willing to wait out for, you know, like it's just like I said, it just depends on how the community is feeling and what else is going on. I imagine that they released Maximus, you know, the week before PulseX Sacrifice going live, you know, probably wouldn't have done as well, you know. I mean, but like that's like it's the market timing is always does kind of matter. But kudos to them all around. It's a great.
I just think it should be annually, guys. And what the first one's Maximus, second one's Decimus, the third one's Meridius. You know, and then we'll figure out what the fourth one's going to be after that.
Got it all planned out already.
Like
but my payout, leave it alone.
But I'll tell you, the people that I'm onboarding right now, I tell them to buy because I think it's because it is so liquid. And a lot of people I've been onboarding lately are older. And I just tell them, look, this is just simple for you. Just buy Maximus and just hold it. Don't sell it. Just hold it.
Yeah.
And there you go. I'm just cruising through chat. No, yes, Wendy's is like, we need new memes. Dogs are played out. Seriously, like, let's be a little bit more creative with that. So yeah.
Well, there'll be goats on the PulseChain. There's a goat meme token that's coming. So,
Helago.
Gold key.
I said it.
And you guys speak on why someone would bridge over eHex to PulseChain. Would you be able to stake it with Hex contract on PulseChain, or would it be a wrapped token?
it would just be a wrap token. So you would, but you know, if you're willing, if you know, if there's a lot of people that provide a lot of eHex to pHex liquidity, you know, then you might see a lot closer a parity with the pricing of the two of them at a much earlier time. So it might be, and if the rewards, let's say the DAO decides that maybe eHex pHex pairing gets outsized returns, possibly, you know. So if they get outsized returns, and you know, I mean, like some of this is speculation, but like I could see that being a reason why you'd want to. I mean, in general, you know, that's the idea is that you can provide liquidity so that traders who will be paying much less in fees will be using your liquidity, so you'd be making more money and or incentive token.
Yep.
That
bridge it over for liquidity pools and can't stake it on PulseChain.
Nope.
Tony Hex 19, what's up? Delegate Pulse until liquid loans is a strategy, then put into Vault to get USDL to loan, and then more PLS and USDL. I mean, there's so many strategies going on here.
There is. It's an interesting. I like the idea of all of that. I just don't want any. As long as there's no liquidations in the process, then everything's wonderful. Yeah. But I mean, I can understand why these loan products are a necessary part of this ecosystem. So,
and I also like that they delayed the launch so that people won't wreck themselves right away. know,
At least like a month after Pulse
Yeah.
launch, right?
Yeah, that was a good idea. Wait, I'm gonna turn my lights on here. It's getting a little bit dark.
Yeah, you give everybody all these tokens all at once, and people are gonna do silly, stupid things. So yeah, I think that's probably a good idea.
Yep. Beyond All is quite passionate. Every quarter, if we want all the liquid hex to be encouraged to be locked.
Dang.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you. Like I said, I just don't want it to. I just don't want it, to be not
Peter out really quick.
Yeah, because if you have a quarter where only 50
and,
million coins get put in there or something like that, or only 20 million get added in because it's too many times, then like you might lose the steam, so to say, and people might not pay attention to the next one after that. And that's that was a thing. Whatever, we don't, whatever. Like it's just be better if it was, if it was hyped and it filled up each time. That'd be the best for everybody.
Yeah, Andrew's got a good point here. I mean, I think mentioned this before. If we have annual maxi, the first one will always be your best. The worst.
Oh yeah.
Be worth
that'd be
more.
Interesting to see the step ladder down. Like here's the hex price, here's maxi, here's deci, here's whatever. Each level of it it'd be an interesting lockstep over time, because it'd be like what you're really talking about is, and at the root of it is kind of like futures contracts. This is a 1-year futures contract. Here's a 5-year futures contract. Here's a whatever, like as they would roll onwards, so that would be interesting. I mean, eventually that would be how it would be once they start coming up in 14 years.
Markable proof of beard only one thoughts.
Where is he? I haven't seen him in forever.
Portugal, or I think he's in Portugal right now.
Maybe. Oh, nice. I was wondering where he's been. I haven't seen him in a long time.
If I'm wrong, bro, let me know.
Yes.
Or maybe I should be saying that anyways.
No,
never mind. He's in North Pole right now. Sorry.
North Korea.
Yeah, North Korea. Go find him. Good luck.
Good stuff in chat between Wendy's and Gold Key. You guys are seeing it all in there. I'm not gonna rehash it in here because I am way behind. You guys are like lighting chat up tonight. Well, good problem.
Yeah, they did. Everyone's excited. I mean, PulseChain's around the corner.
Yeah, we can feel it.
Yes, and I think we are finally caught up to the chat. So, yeah. Any other items here on the list real quick? Oh, I did want to pose this to you guys, just like for fun, like 6 months from now. Let me pull this up here. This is just on my end. So, it's not necessarily crypto related, but a little bit because Elon, is involved with, parts of crypto. So if he does indeed buy Twitter, just like 3 questions, and we'll go around the room. And these are just funny because, he's throwing this stuff out there. 2 of them are anyway. And we'll go, clockwise. Big K, Randy, and Motley, will the headquarters be moved to Texas within the next 6 months? Yes or no? Just real quick.
6 months is pretty short.
If he becomes the CEO, if he decides to become the CEO as well, then yeah, for his like usefulness purposes, sure, yeah.
Oh, Randy.
Absolutely. I think he'll get it out just because the tax reasons and location. I think Austin, that area is really popping off.
Motley.
I'll be contrarian and I'll say no. Probably in the future, but 6 months
is
too short.
I have a bookmark from 6 months from now. Okay, next question. Where did it go? Will the San Francisco headquarters be converted into a homeless shelter, Big K?
I mean, do we have a time frame with this? Is it going to be like 3 months?
Indefinitely.
Or will it be decided? Yeah, let's.
Let's do the indefinite one on this.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I think that Apple will buy it.
Ooh, okay. Andy.
I guess it's location, and do they lease the property or do they own it? That'd be the difference.
Well, the homeless people aren't going to do either.
That is correct.
Nope.
So what was the answer on that, Randy? Just to be clear.
No, I don't think so.
No.
All right. And last question: Twitter stock price $50-ish right now. What do we think the price will be 6 months from now, Big K?
Ooh. That brings in other markets too.
That's right.
Oh,
I don't know. What do I know?
This is fun. Throw it out there.
Uh,
Higher or lower? We'll start
Will
there.
it be higher or lower? I think it will
What's-
be lower.
what's it at right now? 50. What is it?
$50-ish, I think.
No, we need specifics here, sir.
Okay.
49.80 is what I'm saying.
49.80.
Okay,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, depends on
Motley's competitive. He wants this logged. So
I'm
I
just
think-
trying to
I
think of what kind of shape the markets are going to be in.
Well, that's what
months.
I'm-
oh, that's
where
really
I'm-
good.
That's what really
That's right.
matters.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. So I'm thinking like,
Otherwise,
If
I
you
would
want-
say up for sure, but I don't know.
let's say I'm gonna say hold. Let's just say it stays where it's at, within plus or minus $5.
Whoa!
the time-
Plus, he just made his own option. Get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
Hey, you can say the same. Randy, higher or lower by how much?
What's a stock?
Exactly.
Well, I think that we're going, because of the inflation that's happening around the world and the issues that's going on in Europe with the oil, the energy crisis, you're going to see the dollar strengthen. So I know this sounds crazy that the dollar is going to strengthen in this inflationary environment, but if everything's burning down, we're just the strongest one that's burning, right? The USD.
Yeah.
So I think it could. Let's go with 55. It's gonna go up a bit.
Up by 10%. Motley Investor.
I really, really wanted to say no, but I kind of like Elon, so I'm just gonna. It'll be up.
All right. By how much?
What? That wasn't part of the question.
Yeah,
That's-
come on.
It'll be
56 or 54?
$56.39.
All right, there you go. Hex 19, if private, he can keep it under 2,000 investors, and then I guess that wouldn't matter. So yeah, Beardcoin is coming. Whales only.
Can't wait.
Well, what's first, Beardcoin or Safe USD?
Beard
confused.
for sure.
It's got some rollouts
What
coming
else
up.
do we have tying a bow on the show? I think we got through pretty much most of the tweets. Oh yeah, so we haven't touched on this show, and I'm sure we will, especially as PulseChain gets closer or launches. I guess I'll throw this one over to Randy. Do you know of the Helgo, Randy Hilarski?
No, was it something from Northern Europe?
No,
We just-
it is not.
we just
It is a
made
goat
mention of
coin.
it.
We have
It
dog
is a-
coins. It is about to become the goat coin.
There will be a goat. He was somebody.
Oh yes, the trading from the trading chat, right?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Classic.
I'm not part of that, so I never was privy to it.
It hasn't. It's not a
Evid-
thing yet.
Evidently, you just have to buy Hex pre-fork for it
Yes.
to participate. So
That's it.
we could all do that. We could all do that.
Yes, we can. And Mr. Morton is an ambassador of the goat. So he did a stream for Helgo. Michael, like, Helgo is an indicator of the bottom. Yeehaw.
Yep. Every time he resurfaces.
Who? I don't know what you're talking about. So yeah. Let's see. Anything else? I think we're pretty much good, man. Good to see a bunch of old faces in chat. Haven't seen here in a bit.
That's odd, right? I mean, I
weird.
was thinking the same thing. I'm like, wow, this is like going back a year.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, we're all that was when we all sacked about almost a year ago. So here we are. Here we are.
Here we are again.
Here we are.
Still no coins. Win coins, sir. If you guys want to get blocked by Richard, that's a good way to do it.
Yeah, speaking of, Benny, man, this is my last happy hour for a month. On Monday, I checked myself into rehab, but this got heavy real quick.
Nice.
For 30 days.
It's good.
I've had a drinking problem for quite a while. Man, this is heavy, and I'm gonna kick its ass once for all.
Good luck,
Love
bro.
all of you, man.
Way to go, Benny.
Love you, bro.
First step.
Let's
Drinking
do it,
drinking water in your honor tonight. So perfect.
or Pepsi, but yeah,
Make it happen.
that's awesome. Pepsi, but yeah, woo. Hey, and Motley, we were talking a couple weeks ago. We need to get somebody else on stream here too in the next month or so. That he said Happy Hour was one of his favorite shows.
And, yeah.
I forget his handle, man.
You were supposed to remember.
Well, it's in chat, but
I'll go back through my messages.
Yeah, but
yeah.
I really want to call him out too because he's a cool guy there, and that really that hit the feels too. So that was cool.
Yeah, man. He wants to come on your show. That's awesome.
Well, that's all of us, bro.
It's one of his milestones. I mean, I would have chosen a higher milestone, but teach
You know, our bar is low, bro.
Yeah.
So,
Let's make dreams come true.
I was gonna say I like to keep my dreams attainable.
That's a very obtainable dream for sure. We can make.
He's gonna go jump off the roof now.
Yeah, we can make that happen.
Call us Make-A-Wish Foundation. All right.
yeah, man. Lots of love for Benny in the chat here. So let's just get through some of these. Freddie
Yeah, man. Good luck,
quotes,
brother.
lights out. I mean, this is a very supportive community. There's no other community like
Listen,
it.
as a nurse who took care of alcoholics in their last days, you never want to get to that point. It's a terrible, terrible thing.
Yeah, man.
They don't even know who they are anymore. So make sure that you kick it early. You don't want to be there in your last days. Believe me, it's a horrible experience. Horrible.
And how about this? When you're done kicking its ass, come on the show and
Yeah, come on, bro.
just flex and be like, I kicked its ass.
See, now Cabana thinks his show is just like the holy grail. It's like, hey, once you get back from rehab, you can come on my show as a
He's
prize.
been on the show before.
You don't have to come, Benny. It's okay.
He's been on all quite a few shows actually. So yeah. Don't know so much about Discourse Syndicate anymore. Har G3. But anyway. What else we got? I think we are pretty much through this evening's ledger.
Look, guys, if it does come next week on the 15th, that's only, what is that? That's only 9 days away from now.
Yep.
Just be careful. Just prepare. Like I said before, have everything written down. Have your
That's
exact
next
plan.
weekend. Yeah.
Have your exact plan written out so that you don't stray. Because when those emotions hit, and
check
your
your
adrenaline's,
balance.
your adrenaline's pumping, you're gonna make mistakes. So it's better to have it all written down so you do not make mistakes.
That's true.
If you're not prepared, just hold. It's easy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just check your balance and sit fucking tight. Just chill.
And just
That's the
remember,
safest play. If you don't.
these new coins, they don't have a staking feature like Hex, right? Like the code is not going to save you this time around. Like all of us, honestly, on this stream right now are lucky that we had the Hex staking feature because it got us all to where we are today. You will not have that with the new coins, so just keep that in mind when you want to go take profits. Remember,
That is something that is true.
We've been trained.
No coin so far yet that I have seen in this ecosystem that has come out yet has the type of penalties for not doing what you said you'd do that Hex does. 0 of them. All these meme coins, every other coin that we've had, not one of them. Some of them have staking features, but which one burns you as hard as Hex does? None of them. And so like we really, I mean, be happy that you were birthed in fire because it's definitely for the best for everybody.
The only other one that I know of is Urus. That's the Aurochs token, and they don't even have an unstake feature. So I staked my tokens for 5 years. It's like, okay, bye-bye. I'll see you in 5. There's no unstake early. So that was pretty cool too.
It's an interesting
That is
concept
cool.
to take because I thought the same thing too. Like, why not just remove the in-stake feature? But I do like it. Still gives you the freedom of choice. Yes, you made a contract with yourself, but you also have the ability to break the contract with yourself. You just have to be willing to take the penalties that come with it, right? So it does put the ball right back in your court. But it's going to be severe.
Pulse Doge.
And also
Echo staking, guys. Echo staking on Pulse Doge coming soon.
Okay, dog.
yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Hex
that is-
19, good stuff here. Have a checklist before, during, and after. You're running out of time to even do this checklist, really. I think we're that
Oh,
close.
is that what you think, Cabana? God, we
so
are.
what does everybody? So now it gets a little
just put it
tighter.
back another 4
What's
weeks,
everybody's
didn't I?
thought?
Yeah,
Did
yeah, you
we, I was
did.
gonna say, what are we thinking? Are we thinking like a week?
Well, we might as well
2
pick a
weeks?
date. We might as well pick a date
Let's
since
do it.
Cabana did the little Elon challenge. So might as well
All
pick a
right.
day. Go, Big K.
Oh, me first.
Well,
I'm
let
gonna
me
go.
pull a calendar up. Let's see. How many months out do I want to go? No.
I'm gonna just go with what I like. So this is my dream would be that it would be
A number just stuck in my head, but I don't think it's right.
I mean, I keep coming back to May 22nd. I don't know why, but if I had it my way exactly, it would be June 1st.
So which one are you choosing? You have to choose one. What can we get you on record for?
May 22nd.
Okay. Randy.
Next Saturday. I think he should launch it on a weekend.
Next Saturday.
13th.
14th? Okay.
Randy said, 14th. Yep.
I was going to say, some reason 19th is sticking out in my head. I want to say longer. but
14th. So that's
I'll do
14th.
I'll do 19th. I'll do 19th.
14th. So that's Thursday. So that's almost 2 weeks from now. And then I'm the latest one at the 22nd.
And you're probably gonna win because of that, unless Cabana wants.
Oh, it's
Cabana
Cabana,
come in. Yeah. Might as well do 23. Play prices right.
23 is like a Sunday. I'm gonna go like
It's a
25th.
Monday. 22nd's a Sunday.
Oh, 24th then.
24th, Tuesday.
Okay.
Tuesday
Yeah.
the 24th.
I mean,
Taco Tuesday,
what day was Hex launched?
December
Hex-
19th.
December-
I don't know what day. Saturday.
Well, I know that, but I mean,
It was-
what day of the
It
week?
was like December 2nd. So
Or
I
second,
thought it was a
excuse me.
Tuesday.
Was that a Tuesday? How do you know that?
I don't know.
Saturday?
All right, I'm going to check right
It
now.
was during the
December
week
2019.
because I was at
Yeah,
the mall.
that's right. It was
doing
a
meeting.
Monday. December
Oh, it was a
2nd
Monday?
was a Monday.
It was something
Okay,
during the
so-
week. Yeah.
I'm
What-
gonna go.
It's a good way to start
Or-
off your week back then.
Yeah, the 23rd then. I'm gonna go for a Monday again. There we go.
I still remember trying to figure out how to sign for my Bitcoin. It's like I hope I can do this in time.
Hey guys, I do want to plug something though. May 19th, London, we're having a meetup. So
Nice.
Nice.
anybody who's in London is welcome to join us. So it's gonna be pretty cool.
Awesome.
Let me take a look. I think next week I'll have something for us. We can do another ticket giveaway too. So everybody,
right.
if there's anybody out there that wants to come and see the Cubs, see me throw out the first pitch at the Cubs, June 15th, and event as well beforehand, and fun and libations and all the rest. I'll have some fun Chicago trivia ready for us for next week.
Nice trivia. Motley loves trivia. Is it Chicago Zoo trivia?
Let's do it.
There is two. There's two zoos that are in Chicago, so
Two
that
zoos.
does leave two. There's the Lincoln Park and the Brookfield Zoo.
And the Navy base. So you got 3 zoos.
3 zoos. Yeah, that's
Well, I
yeah.
plan on being in Chicago. Cannot wait. Big K, let's get together on. Are you doing the Thursday game as well? That's an
So
afternoon.
I'm going to be there. I don't know if I'm doing the other games necessarily, but I'm going to be there like the day before, for a couple days before, and then couple days afterwards. So we'll do some I'm trying to book some dinners for large parties so we can maybe do some fun stuff along the way.
But the Thursday after is an afternoon game, so that's why I was.
Oh, the
mentioning.
Thursday out was that
Yeah.
the next day? Oh,
Yeah.
that's
It's
not
an
a bad
early
idea.
game. Yeah.
I mean, I have season 2. I mean, yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
We'll be
And
staying. We'll be right
when
there. I'll
is
be
that
like,
one more time.
it is 7:00 on June 15th, Chicago, Wrigleyville against the Padres. So if you're in San Diego, yes, I am. I'm not really training. I go outside once in a while and I throw balls at the required amount of distance, and
Or
my
darts.
child goes and shucks them and then brings them back
Dude.
to me to throw more. So
I'm telling you,
that's-
360 and just send it into the crowd. It'll make headlines everywhere. Do it. Do it.
Oh, man.
I don't even know
Uh,
what can they do to you. You're good.
I mean, they just not let me do it again. I'm
How-
trying to get the gig to sing the 7th inning stretch one year. That would be that's my next ultimate. I tried. I was like, well, how much, guys? Can I
So
please
true.
do it?
After living there for over almost 2 years, yes. Chicago
it's
is a zoo on its own.
Oh yeah, it is. Oh yeah.
Lots of sack advice still coming in. Big K, don't
Yeah,
forget
you
to
do get
powder
to,
your
you gotta
sack
make
with
sure
loaded
you,
stuff.
you grab the sack and you toss it on your hand and you get all the powdered sack. It's a different sack though, but
I think we're running out of
That's a
material.
good note to end on.
I just gave a big sigh, like, we lost it.
And we're
run
done.
through chat, so we're
we
good.
can't all be zingers.
All right. Well, before we go, Motley Investor.
Yep.
Some big fights tomorrow night. Who you got?
Oh, I have no idea. I haven't brought
Gaethje, Oliveira.
Oliveira.
Chandler and Ferguson, maybe?
Chandler.
And I forget who Thug Rose is fighting, but
Thug Rose probably.
I was gonna say
probably Thug Rose. I think I would. I'm assuming all those that I chose are the favorites, so I'd probably stick with the favorites for this one.
like you don't like pause
Yo,
at
that's-
all for Gaethje. Like he is a tough dude, man. I
Gaethje-
know that Oliveira's just awesome, but
Gaethje is a monster, but like Oliveira is like he's like top notch black belt jiu-jitsu guy, and he like carries that over into everything else he's learning. Like I've seen his striking progress, and like Gaethje is wild as fuck, and Oliveira has like orangutan arms. So like if you can keep that jab out there and those pinpoint strikes that I saw him use on who's the boxer?
like-
Dustin Poirier, who was
people
an
are saying
amazing
Oliveira
boxer.
didn't even make weight.
Oh really?
Yep. That's what he,
Oh.
Oh, there you go. Even more advantage for Oliveira. Oh wait, he got stripped for it. Damn. I don't know if they get stripped for it.
I don't know that, but yeah.
Yeah, I think the belt is still up for contention, but yeah, I don't know how that works.
Huh. All right.
Yeah, but I think
But
Oliveira.
it's a great
wins.
card. Either way. So yeah.
Damn, 0.5 pounds. That sucks.
Wow.
Oof. He's a big boy. He's got to cut a lot of weight, and he doesn't have a lot of weight to cut in the first place.
Yeah. Let's wrap this up, man. So, Big K, show yourself. Where can we find you, good sir? Aside from Wrigley Field on June 15th.
Wrigley Field, June 15th. You can find me there, and an undisclosed location beforehand, several hours ahead of time.
Party.
Yes, sir. We got some fantastic acts that'll be playing there. I'm working on finishing booking them. I think probably by when we give out tickets next week, we can probably announce some of that.
That's awesome.
And then what else? Big Kirkowski on Telegram and on Twitter. Less is more when you're reaching out to me. You can find me at highestofstakes.com too. We've been putting the movie stuff together. Go take that a look. Hopefully once Pulse is out, we'll do some bingo games for some charity. Bingo.earth. I think that's it. I'm right here every Friday.
Randy Hilarski.
Randy Hilarski everywhere. Been using it for years. And May 19th, London, and then we'll be in Edinburgh. So we're meeting everybody up in Edinburgh, and then Glasgow. And after that, we'll see.
There you go.
Nice.
Valley Brand. You gonna be in Chicago, man? I finally get
Kick
to meet
ass.
you. Be awesome. All
That'd
right.
be awesome.
Motley Investor, do you have a banana we can create a meme with? Real quick?
It's already starting to turn brown, bro. I don't know.
Oh man. Oh dude.
It's deflated.
You should have gotten another one. We could have done a side by side.
No.
All right,
not
show
this
yourself.
time. Yeah, you guys can follow me, Motley Investor, everywhere, especially on Twitter. There's someone who I will not name that's trying to catch me, and I don't want to give him free hex. So if you're not following me somehow, just go follow me on Twitter. I don't want him to catch me. And let's see, go follow Legion VC. You can find us on Telegram and Twitter. And then Wendy's and I will be starting a course here soon, so stay tuned for that. It should be fun.
There you go. Yeah, so next week we should be back close to, well, at least in studio. I will be. I trust you gentlemen will be around if you can, probably an hour before, like we did this week. So 4 p.m. Sorry, Motley, but you should have plenty of time to set up your studio
Dude,
then.
my studio is not set up right now. Here, let me see if I can just show you. Like I got like rugs and lights and like this on boxes and
Nice.
stacks of paper. Yeah,
Hey,
it's
you did well.
it's not pretty.
Yeah.
I'm excited to actually officially set it up though.
Awesome. Yeah, so we'll probably I'm thinking with my next weekend schedule, do 4 p.m. Eastern one more weekend. So just stay on the lookout for that. Obviously, we'll put it out on Twitter. We had huge crowd tonight in chat, so the hour difference didn't affect anybody. So that's awesome. And
Hope we have big news next week. Big news, please.
Yes,
That's what
yes,
Marion's
yes.
saying right now. She's like, next week should be launch, guys. Like, the heck.
Man, very
That's right.
exciting.
I
It's-
know.
Well,
I will say that next week, if we haven't launched by next week, it's gonna feel like, you're gonna
4
feel
more
on the
weeks.
edge of your fucking seat. Well, I'll feel
or
pretty-
like on the cusp.
yeah, like I'll feel like it's coming, like I'll
There you
It's
go.
gonna be overwhelming. I'm excited.
It's gonna be madness. It's just so exciting, and I just can't. I have not gotten amped up to just sit back and eat popcorn like this for a long time. So it's gonna be good.
I've
Put the
got
charts on the big screen.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got to load more powder up.
Yeah, Hex 19. Yeah, 4 p.m. Missed the first hour. Yeah, sorry, just way travel work this week and probably next week too. A little bit earlier, but yeah, around the same time. So appreciate you as always. And that's it. We're gonna close the show. Thank you everybody for coming by, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.